Hello students and welcome to the fourth chapter of 21SMAC244B Polymer Analysis. The name of this chapter is Polymer Reactions. In this chapter we are going to study different reactions shown by the polymers, and the reference book for this chapter is the Polymer Science by V.R. Govarikar and others, published in 2005. The functional groups present in a polymer molecule, depending on its chemical nature, can undergo a variety of reactions leading to a polymer structure with entirely new properties and new applications. For example, if we can make a polymer of ethylene and a monomer containing an SH functional group, we get a polymer with a lot of mercapto side groups. Like we can condense X molecules of ethylene and Y molecules of a monomer with SH functional group. When they condense, they will form a new polymer with lot of side groups or side chain which contain this SH functional group. This newly formed polymer is a linear polymer, and like polyethylene, it can form a film and is a water insoluble. The reactivity of the side mercapto, that is SH group, in this polymer can be used as an exciting application. The mercapto groups on mild oxidation form a disulfide bridging the two linear molecules. Thus, on a near exposure to air, the polymer undergoes oxidation and we get a cross-linked polymer which becomes insoluble. And the reaction takes place. The mercapto group SH, which was present in the newly synthesized polymer, it can react with oxygen and it will bridge the two sulfurs, that will bridge the two linear chains, and it will form a new polymer which will be insoluble. Similarly, there are a number of reactions which are shown by this polymer which are exciting and which can be utilized to study their properties as well as to get a new applications and the new properties for the polymers. For example, the first reaction is hydrolysis. In the hydrolysis, the polymers with amide, ester and acetal linkages can be easily hydrolyzed in presence of either acids or the bases. When such groups are present in the chain backbone, the hydrolysis leads to a chain scission or chain degradation. The longer chain will become shorter chain, and these amide, ester and acetal groups, they undergo hydrolysis. For example, this amide group, when it is hydrolyzed, it breaks into an amino group and the carboxylic group, which will lead to the breaking of the side chain. Similarly, the polyvinyl acetate in another well-known polymer which can be hydrolyzed with an alkali to give polyvinyl alcohol. Like polyvinyl acetate, when undergoes base hydrolysis, it can be converted into polyvinyl alcohol, which is again a new type of. After hydrolysis, the next type of reaction is acidolysis. In acidolysis, generally the larger molecules of polymers are broken down into smaller fragments. The acidolysis involves the splitting of the polymer molecules using carboxylic acid. Acidolysis means the breaking in presence of acids. As shown in the reaction, when the polymer is reacted or it is mixed with carboxylic acids, it is converted into the smaller molecular weight polymers. So in this example, we can see that a high molecular weight polyamide is degraded into a low molecular weight polymer with the terminal carboxyl group. The next reaction is called aminolysis, that is the splitting of the polymer molecule with an amine, and this also proceeds in a manner similar to the acidolysis. Instead of a carboxylic acid, here the diamines are used and the large polymers will be broken down into smaller molecules with the amino terminal groups. The polymers show same type of hydrogenation reactions as shown by the unsaturated organic molecules. The polymers can be reduced in presence of different reducing agents. The same hydrogenation technique is used to obtain many new polymers from the existing one. For example, when polystyrene is reduced in presence of nickel, At 200 degrees Celsius, it is converted into cyclohexyl polyethylene polymer. Similarly, the polymer shows different reactions based on the type of functional group which is present. For example, if there are hydroxyl groups are present, the polymer molecules with these groups, like in polyvinyl alcohol, can react with metallic sodium, and the product which is obtained can be further reacted with alkyl halides to produce polyvinyl ethers. Like this reaction, the polyvinyl alcohol is reacted with sodium, and now this sodium salt is reacted with ethylene chloride, and it is now converted into polyvinyl ethers. Similarly, the polyvinyl alcohol can also react with ethylene oxide under the alkaline conditions to yield ethoxy derivatives of the polymer, like in this reaction. Similarly, the hydroxyl group in polyvinyl alcohol can undergo the usual esterification reaction too. Thus, starting from the polyvinyl alcohol, we can get back polyvinyl acetate by reacting it with acetic anhydride and anhydrous sodium acetate as shown in the reaction. Similarly, the polyvinyl alcohol can also react with isocyanates to form the derivatives of urethanes. If aldehydic groups are present in the polymer, then they show the usual aldehydic group functional group reactions. The aldehyde group presents along the chain of the polyacrylic, and hence they can react in a manner similar to that of the simple aldehydes. Sodium bisulfite adds to polyacrylic as in the reaction. The CHO is converted into CHSO3 group, that is the bisulfite group. Similarly, the property of this group is that it is a water soluble, and the polyacrylic, which is the starting material, it is water insoluble. Thus, we can convert a water insoluble polymer into a water soluble polymer. Similarly, polyacrylic reacts with hydroxylamine as well as the phenylhydrazine as the simple aldehydes react, and they form corresponding oximes and hydrazones. Again, the polyvinyl methyl ketone, which contains a ketonic functional group, undergoes reactions which are characteristics of a ketone. It reacts with hydroxylamine to form a corresponding oxime as shown in the reaction. Similarly, the polyacrylic acid, which is a polymer with a large number of carboxylic acid groups, and the properties of this polymer are similar to those of simple organic acids. For example, polyacrylic acid can react with alkalis to form salts, as in this reaction. The amino groups present in polyvinyl amine can be reacted with reagents such as acetic anhydride, benzene sulfonyl chloride to form the modified polymers, as shown in this reaction scheme. If the polymer contain nitro groups, they can be converted into an amino groups by reduction reaction. Hence, when polynitropropylene is reacted with teen in HCl, it is converted into polypropylene amine as in the reaction. The NO2 group is converted into NH2 in presence of teen and HCl. Similarly, the amido groups present along a polymer chain like in a simple acid amides can undergo the Hofmann degradation reaction to yield the amino groups. Thus, the polyacrylamide can be converted into polyvinyl amine by reaction of bromine in NaOH, which will undergo the Hofmann degradation reaction. There are many polymers which contain aromatic rings and can undergo reactions characteristics to the aromatic nucleus. Thus, when the polystyrene is sulfonated, it shows the sulfonation reaction, and similarly, the polystyrene can be nitrated to polynitrostyrene, and chlorination of polystyrene can be done in presence of aluminum chloride. By employing the Friedel-Crafts reaction, polyvinyl cyclohexylbenzene is synthesized from polystyrene and cyclohexene as follows. Please follow the link in the description box for the detailed notes and the question bank, as well as for some more other important reactions of the polymers.